Hey guys, welcome back to another video of a model kit build. Today we are going to be building the Fujimi 1/24th scale Subaru Legacy station wagon. To start the build, I assembled the wheels and suspension. The pins and caps were unfortunately made from polystyrene, so extra caution was used while cementing the pieces. After finishing the wheels, I moved on to the undercarriage. For this build, I opted not to paint the rims. To paint the exhaust pipe, I used a Molotov chrome marker. To match the interior of the body, I painted all the highlighted parts with Tamiya's flat blue. Unfortunately, in this model kit, the front seats included a large amount of injection pin marks. To complete the rest of the dashboard, I then moved on to applying the decals, making sure to trim off the excess film on the decals so that they can be applied properly. To start the car body, I moved on to highlighting the seam lines with a Sharpie. After finishing the dashboard, I then moved on to assembling the rest of the interior. To prime the body, I used Krylon black spray paint. About halfway through the lacquer coats, I added the decals. After the decals were set, I added another 5 to 6 coats of lacquer paint. To paint the grille of the Subaru, I used black 3.0. To paint the racks on the top of the car, I used Vallejo's aluminum paint. For this Fujimi kit, Fujimi allowed you to create custom license plates. In order to prevent silvering, once adding the decals, I then added a few clear coats on top of the decals. After all of the coats of lacquer were finally dry, I then moved on to wet sanding the model kit. I started off by using 2000 grit sandpaper, moved my way up to 2500 grit, then moved my way up to 4000 grit, as well as 6000 to 8000 to 10,000 grit. This was the final result before polishing. During the wet sanding process, I managed to sand too much on some edges. To fix the sanded off parts, I painted the areas with the paint used for the body color. Once dry, I would later add a thick clear coat to the repainted area. To begin the polishing process, I started off with a real car polishing compound. To paint some of the headlights and taillights, I used a chrome marker. To paint the trim within the headlights, I used a Sharpie marker. To paint the trim of the car, I used Vallejo's black acrylic paint. After painting the trim of the car, I moved on to painting the interior of the car with Vallejo's black. After doing so, I moved on to painting the mirrors with a chrome marker. As soon as finishing that, I moved on to gluing the interior tub into the undercarriage. After doing so, I moved on to applying the final decal. Since this kit did not include any masking for the windows, I had to paint it by hand. To complete the polishing, I moved on to using a more finer polishing compound. This included Tamiya's Fine and Finish polishing compound. After applying Tamiya's panel accent line, I moved on to assembling all of the clear parts as well as painting the signal lights. This included assembling the mirrors together. After assembling the two racks together, the model kit was complete.